Hey, Bruno, how are you?
Great. How are you doing today?
I'm really good, and I want to thank you for meeting with me. This is really cool. I enjoy every time we get together in our conversation. So listen, for the sake of what we're doing today, would you start off with sharing a little bit who you are and a little bit about you?
Absolutely. My pleasure. My name is Bruno Pereira. I was born on November 5th, 1989, and I am a marketing strategist by day and a business coach by night. And what I mean by that is I spend my day serving and transforming businesses by using marketing tactics and strategies. And how I became so interested in marketing and business was that I would say roughly 2 to 3 years ago, I worked for an engineering company. And as a project manager at this engineering company, I was working as a full-time employee, and I was becoming very tired of becoming an employee to this corporation. And my story would start there. My story basically consists of an individual who was tired of working several hours and 40 hours plus a week on something that I wasn't really interested or passionate with. And at the time, I was very eager and very open-minded to learning more about myself. I didn't really know which way to go. And I started connecting with a few people, one person by the name of Nathan Emerald. And it was roughly 2 years ago where he helped me set goals and actually find my passion. And my passion at the time was fitness. And he allowed me and motivated me to understand that in life, you pretty much only live once. And what that means is you have to really take the opportunity that me being very Christian and Catholic and true to it, you have to take the opportunity to embrace what God has gifted you with. And at the time, I was very interested in fitness, and I was very motivated to not only take care of myself, but take care of my family. So the main question was, how the hell am I going to make money with my passion? I don't even know what that means. How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to support my family? And this man by the name of Nathan Emerald became my mentor and my friend, and he taught me the principles of life, the principles of business. And at the time, I was trying to grow my fitness business, and I was spending a lot of time on marketing. And come to find out, my true interest of planting that seed in fitness was really marketing and helping people not only discover their passion, but ultimately market their passion and promote their passion and ultimately make money with their passion. So in 2011, I became the founder of Superstar Solutions, and Superstar Solutions has pretty much made me who I am today. I'm a very visionary person. My vision is to truly have my business consist of millions of individuals who have become a client in my business and ultimately marketed themselves by discovering their passion, putting into play the strategy, the principles, the marketing services that we provide to ultimately create sales and do what I did, which was to leave the company I was working for, and start my own brand. So that would pretty much define who Bruno Pereira is today.
Well, that's a really interesting story, and I come out the other end with certainly a couple of words, and one is you are certainly at the core of your being an entrepreneur, and I knew that the minute I met you. And we have an agreement about marketing, and as a marketing specialist, I'm betting that you'll probably agree with me that the biggest and most important thing you got to do in marketing is get exposure, authentic
Absolutely.
exposure for yourself and for your clients, and you got to get people to know you. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Absolutely, I totally agree with that, 100%.
Cool. Well, today I'm going to be showing you or telling you a bit about my company and what it is and what it does, and among other things, you know that I'm in the online greeting card business. Is that correct?
Yes.
cool. And so you know that I'm really about getting my customers exposure with that little greeting card company, right?
Absolutely. From what you've shown me some amazing things that you can just expose yourself with.
Well, you know, that one of the things I was attracted to the online greeting card company, and I was very much like you many years ago. As a matter of fact, I tell young people all the time, I used to be you. I was where you are at a point in my life, and I remember it like it was yesterday because I had mentors in my life too who, you know, taught me things like, you know, go read Jim Rohn's, How to Succeed in the 90s. Back then it's How to Succeed and the Challenge to Succeed, but back when I read it, it was How to Succeed in the 90s, and, you know, he talked back then about having more than one talent, and that, you know, that you remind me of that Renaissance man that he talked about then, you know, that is just multi-talented, just doesn't do one thing, just doesn't, you know, has many talents in many areas. And, you know, the other thing he taught me was about being a player, and, you know, what that means is not sitting on the sidelines and actually getting in the game and playing the game. And that reminds me a lot of you, too. That was one of the things I admired about you when I met you. And also that you see the bigger picture on things, you know. At such a very young age, you've carved such a niche for yourself, and you see such a huge picture. And that was one of the reasons why I asked you to get together with me and chat a little bit about, you know, my industry of network marketing. Because I remember the night we met, and I brought it up and got talking about residual. I remember your face lit up, and I remember that being something that you found interesting. And so I guess what my question is to you right now, Bruno, is what do you know about network marketing? What has been your exposure and your experience with network marketing up until this date?
Sure. One thing I found out about network marketing was it's a great way to increase your sales skills. And sales is very, very, very important when creating your brand and creating yourself and ultimately creating an empire out of what you love to do. And in network marketing, I was once reached out with a company called Monavi, and I learned a lot from the first presentation. I never proceeded with the company, but I did learn that network marketing plays a big role in an individual's life when it comes to making money. And that's because you are it's like an empire of people who do sales, people who know how to create relationships. And there's just people there to ultimately create relationships and create a team. And creating teams out of great people is really what makes you look great. At the end of the day, you pretty much want people promoting you, because if you were going to go out to the business world or any industry promoting yourself, you're not going to get anywhere, because obviously you're going to talk great things about yourself. But if you create a team out of great individuals, great relationships, you are ultimately going to be one of the best in the industry. And that's what I really grabbed from network marketing.
Well, you know, that's a very good explanation of what network marketing is, and of the gazillion things I've learned it is over the 20-plus years I've been in the industry. Team and building and leadership and leverage, all those things you mentioned are really, really important. But I'm wondering, if I stopped this recording for one quick second, Bruno, and took you on to a real quick webinar and then came back and showed you my vision of what I saw when I first looked at it, would you come there and do that with me?
Sure, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to pause and come back in just a second, folks. Hey, Bruno, I'm back.
Nice to hear from you.
Listen, can you see my screen? It
yes,
says,
I can.
And let me see here. Get my little video going, too. It says, MLM for business professionals. It ain't so different. And I got to tell you, and I appreciate that you let me show you this presentation, Bruno. I haven't shown it to anyone yet, and that's why I wanted your opinion on it. And here's my thought. You know, back 22 years ago when I chose network marketing as my business profession, you know, everyone laughed at me, and rightly so, because, you know, I remember my business plan. Now, can you imagine this? I was 40 years old. I had no husband, no 401k plan. I had no education. I had no degree. And I walked into a bank and I said, okay, I need a loan. I'm going to build a huge, wild, successful network marketing opportunity that's going to support me for the rest of my life.
That's
now,
amazing.
The bank wouldn't give me a loan, and my friends all laughed at me, and that was 22 years ago. And, 22 years ago, it was hard for me to explain to people what I saw. But this is basically what I saw. And, back then, it was the American dream. Everybody talked about it. I think you might recall it. Real estate agents said, everybody's going to go out and buy a house, and we're going to have lots of houses, and we're going to rent them, and then after we rent them, we're going to make so much money off each individual house after we rent it. And this is called residual income, and we're going to live on this in our future, and we're going to be able to, live beautiful lives and have all this money to roll in, because that's what real estate promised everyone. You're a little bit young, but do you remember this American dream, Bruno?
Absolutely.
Well, I do too, and all of my friends got into real estate, and they all bought real estate, and my parents bought real estate, and my brothers and sisters bought real estate, and I didn't because, someone told me that, fast forward 20 years, that this might not be the future that we all were going to look at, and even if it was, that there was another way to get residual income, and that was to get involved in this industry called network marketing. And I could build this same business model, except I didn't have to spend all those money on houses. So I believed them, and this is what I saw back then. And I saw that in 2012, every home was going to become a distribution center. It was going to need to. And if you look kind of closely at these homes, you'll see that every one of them has a name on it. And over here we got Dale, and Dale's distribution center produces about, $100 a month in residual income, and Linda's distribution center, which happens to be her home, produces $1,200, and Chris produces $300, and John's $450, and then, we opened Australia over here, and we have no idea what those distribution centers are going to produce. But basically, this is what I saw back 22 years ago, and so instead of buying homes, I decided to build network marketing distribution centers instead. And so today, really, that's what I do is I teach people who are really, really smart how to show other people to turn their home into distribution centers so that they become income producing. And, it's really important to share here that, the truth in life is that right now, your home needs to be income producing. And if it's not, you're losing a lot of money or you're leaving a lot of money on the table. So, when I go back here and people ask me, how do we distribute? Well, home parties are the most sophisticated approach to massive distribution. People get mad when I say that all the time. They tell me I don't like doing home parties, and I tell them to get over it. And the reason I tell them to get over it is because, let me tell you what a home party is not. It's not about playing games. It's not about bringing a gazillion items that need to be explained. It's not about cooking a 7-course meal and having wine for all of your guests. And it's certainly not about standing in front of a room and giving a speech. Hell no. Let me tell you what a home party is. It's free meeting space. It's group support. It's a social environment. It's a stage that's already set to do business. Guests are comfortable, and everyone can do it. That's why every home needs to be income producing. When I walk down the street now in this economy, I look at every home on the street and I say, distribution center, distribution center, distribution center. And why? Because a home-based business produces you these kind of savings. You will never have to pay for your internet or your cell phone again. That alone is worth the cost of a home-based business opportunity. You'll be able to get 51 cents auto expense per mile for driving your car. Meal deductions, travel deductions, office deductions, utility deductions, you name it. If you don't have a home-based business, then you're blowing $10,000 to $12,000 of your hard-earned money every single year. So how much do we make? Well, that's a good question. We don't make claims in our industry, but I can make these kind of claims. If you have an average home-based business, you can generate about $500 a month, which will go a long way in paying off that mortgage and keeping your home out of foreclosure. If you have an excellent home business opportunity, you can generate about $5,000 a month. And then if you have an obscenely successful home-based business, $50,000 a month or more. Now, that's just a small idea of what we do in our business, and that's without going into any details. So I'm just going to cut the tape right now and come back with you, Bruno, and chat a little bit about this, okay?
Sounds great.
So, Bruno, first of all, thanks. That's the first time I've shown that. And, I'm an old-timer in MLM. It's been 22 years, and, I've been around the ropes a bit. I've done home parties. I've set myself up at trade shows dressing in bear costumes, trying to sell vitamins to kids. But, for me, that isn't really what it's about. What it's about is teaching businesses and professionals how to generate revenue. So I'd really like, your thoughts and your feedback on that presentation. Tell me what your opinion was.
I think it was great. It's definitely a new way of seeing how to make money. For example, how you compare the real estate industry from back in the day to how individuals can make money now. I think just because I feel the real estate industry could be a gamble where in network marketing, MLM, you can identify who and what homes can easily make money. And if you set the principles and the strategies that you had stated in your presentation, I think every home could be a great way to make money versus in the real estate industry where you have to find the greatest deal, the best location, and blah, 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 blah. I think that presentation was definitely an eye-opening experience for me. It's definitely a great way of seeing how the MLM industry works. So, in other words, and I thank you for that last feedback, because that, what you just said before we moved, when we finished, was that the way I presented it all of a sudden made network marketing a bit of an eye-opening experience for you. Absolutely. Cool. That's what I wanted to hear, because, I remember when I saw it the first time, it was 1990, and I was at a meeting, one of those hotel meetings, and there were two people up in front of the room, a man and a woman, and they were with a nutrition skincare company, and she was going on and on about she was the little stay-at-home wife that did the retailing and put the makeup on people and all of that, and he was drawing circles on a whiteboard. And I remember sitting there, and if I haven't told you this, I've got a very highly developed male side. I love business. I learned business from men. And I said, I want to do that. I want to draw circles. And I knew immediately. I didn't want to be the one going out plastering makeup on people. As a matter of fact, I never stayed in a nutrition or a skincare company because I don't want to get caught up in putting makeup or skincare on people. I tried that, and it was really difficult for me. And even in nutrition, you work really, really hard to get people on a nutrition product, and then wham, the next month they go off and they go with somebody else. It's a real fickle industry. So, for me personally, when I found greeting cards, and, I'm a marketing specialist. Duh, what about greeting cards didn't make sense? Everybody in marketing should send greeting cards because they're warm and fuzzy and people like them, and when you do, they respond to them, They keep them on their desk. When you pick up the phone and call them, the first thing they say to you was, I was really looking forward to talking to you. Your card's right here. Well, gee, thanks, that makes me feel good. So all in all, when the industry and the right company came along, it made things, a little bit more realistic in terms of what I might like to build my future with. But, of course, for me, and this is really, really important to me, was, I needed to know if I could really make money in this business. Because, and we talked about that the first time we met, because you have thought many times, and I think it's a good business model for your particular company. You've thought down the line of perhaps putting a network marketing type business model together in your particular company, which is a really humongous goal, because that's just a perfect world when you can reward people for the efforts that they put in for your company. I mean, don't you agree on that? Absolutely. I mean, when you told me that was your vision for your company, I knew you were a forward thinker. So what I want to do, and one final thing here, because the people that will be listening to this after, one of the questions they're going to ask is, well, like, realistically, what can you get paid in this business? Can you really seriously make money? And I want to show that
modeled to you as well in this presentation, and also get your feedback on the end of it. So do you mind if I stop the recording and bring you to one more presentation, Bruno?
No problem. Let's make it happen.
Perfect. Hold on. Hey, Bruno. Oh, my God. I don't even think I'm going to stop the recording anymore because you say the best stuff the minute I stop the recording. And I just, would you reiterate what you were just saying to me again about seeing this from such a different perspective? Sure,
absolutely. Well, one thing that you presented in your presentation was the fact that there was a story behind MLM versus where when I was approached to another MLM product, it was all about, here's, check out this product, this is how much money you're going to make, blah, 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 blah. Here, you pretty much kind of gave me a story, and in selling, story is so important. And the way you explained it in your presentation, how you made it a reality in my mind, was totally sold me on MLM. So I think it's very important to create this type of presentation when you're selling and creating a story that somebody can relate to versus, hey guys, check out this product. Hey guys, this is how much money you're gonna make. Hey guys, and it's so money oriented versus somebody who can relate to the story.
Well, I want to thank you for that because one of the reasons for this particular presentation and the way we did it this way is one of the things I like to teach when I train people on giving a presentation is, it's not just about your product. Your product is only as good as the customer you're talking to and whether or not they need it. Don't you agree on that one, Bruno?
Absolutely.
I mean, if they don't need your product, no amazing things it can do is going to razzle-dazzle anyone. So, you need to present your product in such a way that the person you're talking to realizes, hey, I need that. That's part of what's important to me. So to do that, I need to impress upon the person I'm talking to, on many different levels, and one of which is, the industry in general. It's so misunderstood, and if more people knew or truly understood it, they'd go wild about it because, and the people who love it, that's what they see. They get it. They go, wow, I never understood that before. And then, of course, there's the company you're at. As I was sharing with you a little bit, the reason I love my company is because it fits in alignment with my visions as a marketer. I love marketing. I love expressing a message to people, and if I can express a message to people that is also connected with something that causes them to feel something at the same time. If you've ever read Think and Grow Rich, it always talks about leaving a message with someone at the same time you're leaving them with a feeling, because if you can do those two things together, wham, they're yours. And I know that, and that's why it's so important for my message to be sent with something fun and with a video or with a card or with somebody who I care about because it leaves that feeling with them as well. And then, of course, there's money. Do you get paid for this? If you don't get paid good for doing what you do, then, there's no reason to do it because, let's face it, we all get in business because we need to make money to support our families and to keep us, healthy and in Blue Cross and all those things. And, we talked a bit about, each home becoming a distribution center, and that's because every home needs it. Every home is desperate right now, and the difference between foreclosure and not is sometimes just a couple of $100s. So I have this, presentation up here that I wanted to show you because I wanted to give you a brief overview of the income that, people who own a home-based business can generate for having a home distribution center. I mentioned the deductions you can have, but can you see this slide that I have here, Bruno?
Yes.
Well, it's a lot of numbers, but I'm going to try to simplify it because I like things real simple. And so the best way for me to simplify this is to talk about when someone decides to own a home-based business. It's kind of like, let's talk restaurants because I'm in the restaurant business and I love restaurants. So you start a new restaurant, and you're brand new at it, and you open your first one, and, you don't make a ton of money on it because it's your first one, and, you're just learning. And that's kind of like when you start out in your own send-out cards business. When you first begin, when you help somebody else start out in their first send-out cards business, you earn a $100 customer acquisition bonus. And this is a bonus that the company pays when you help them get their first couple of customers in their new business. So considering that it costs $295 to own your own send-out cards business, to get a $100 customer acquisition bonus is a kind of nice little bonus to get started out with. And 3 of those bonuses gets everybody in their own business paid for. Because when you enroll 3, yours is free. You no longer have to pay for your business anymore. It's paid for. At the same time, when you get your 3, you promote to what's called a senior distributor level. And at the senior distributor level, what changes is you still get a $100 customer acquisition bonus when you help someone get started in business, but it's like opening your second restaurant. You're now better at it. You're a little bit more savvy. You know how to streamline things. So you get paid an extra $40 as a leadership bonus, which means you make $140 when you help someone and enroll them at a $295 marketing distributor level. But most importantly, you get $40 every time you help one of those people find a marketing distributor and help them get started in business. They earn $100, you earn $40. Now, this happens when you move to manager level in our company, which is where leadership really begins. And when you start opening distribution centers that become managers, they get $240 every time they enroll a $295 marketing distributor, and get paid $140 leadership bonus at the manager level every time they help a new marketing distributor get started. So at this level, between manager and senior manager, you enroll 12 leaders into your business at $140 per leader. That can turn into some fun money helping people open distribution centers as a coach. Now, when you get to senior manager level, this is where the fun begins, because you now make $290 every time you enroll a $295 marketing distributor and $190 every time you coach one. I only show to this level. We go to executive, senior executive, and Eagle because I want to impress upon people how easy it is to get to a senior manager level, which is 24 marketing distributors, at which point you earn a $190 coaching bonus for helping all of your marketing distributors gather their first 2 customers. Now, this does not count your monthly commissions on all the greeting cards and gifts that are sent out of your organization. And one of the wonderful features of Send Out Cards is we have no attrition, because when people send cards, they get results and they keep sending cards. So we can earn anywhere from 2% to 25% on every greeting card that is sent from our organization. Now, just to give you that in perspective, we have a leader in our company who has a corporate account that sends out $250,000 of Christmas gifts every year on his Send Out Cards, greeting card, and gifting account. So at a 20% level, which is what this gentleman happens to be at, his residual on that account every Christmas is not a bad bonus. Now, we also have training bonuses. Our new training program pays our certified trainers to train new distributors. This is a whole area of income that's on top of everything else. But again, I just like to show the really early stages of what it's like to get started and how much extra money someone can make just by going out there and deciding they'd like to build an online greeting card company from their home, totally online. So, Bruno, I'm not even going to stop there, because I'm going to stop and you're going to say something profound. So tell me that seeing the money that way looks different too.
Absolutely. When you put it in this type of perspective, you definitely get to see the opportunity you have especially when you create a team around you and you have people signing up other people. The bonuses are just outrageous compared to this chart. There's such a great opportunity here for individuals to make some serious money.
Well, I thank you for that perspective, because that is exactly how I felt when this plan was rolled out. And it's interesting because I'm an executive with the company, and although my income and my bonuses are very, very exciting, I have to think back, coming into Send Out Cards very early in my career, I've gotten to witness a lot of things, one of which is when we had one handwriting font, we had one picture and only 200 cards, and they were all ugly, and we were licking them with our tongues, I mean, that's how it started. They were being printed on Xerox printers. And now the United States Post Office has issued Send Out Cards its own postage stamp. We are the #1 purchaser of postage stamps in the whole United States of America. And we're growing to be a billion-dollar company. And when I signed in to Send Out Cards, it was $800, and we didn't get paid a $220 coaching bonus to coach our new leaders. We got paid $25. So I just did some calculations, and I can take a brand new distributor to senior manager level, and they'll earn $3,000 in that trip from zero to senior manager. And when I made that trip from zero to senior manager, I think I made $300.
That's awesome. Wow.
So it is an exciting company to be part of today, and it's growing, and we are attracting fabulous business minds because of this compensation plan, and because people realize that we are a business of developing leaders in distribution centers and growing them globally. So at any rate, I just am going to stop that interview right here, because otherwise I will go on for hours. So Bruno, I don't often get a chance to present to young people like yourself who are so entrepreneurial, and you've got such, big visions and great minds to give fertile information to. After our interview today, what would be your parting comments? What would you like to leave with the audience as we close off?
I'd like to say that, referring to Send Out Cards, when it comes to chasing your goals or chasing your dreams, it really comes down to not only money but passion. And you have to basically be passionate about any particular goal. Let's just use business goal as an example. What I mean by that is when stepping into, let's just say, Send Out Cards and that type of industry, you really have to be focused on your passion. And that's what's going to guide you and put that hard work in to gain that huge amount of money. And we're talking thousands, as Deb showed in this video. We're talking thousands of dollars. And one great thing about Send Out Cards, and I'm not here promoting Send Out Cards, but let me tell you, when it comes to Send Out Cards, that's a passionate business. You're literally sending out personalized greeting cards to individuals that will make a difference in that person's life. And whether it's a greeting card to wish them a happy birthday, a thank you, whatever, the case is that person is going to smile because of your card. And there's a lot of passion there. So if you focus on how many people you can actually create a happy day for, the money is going to come in left and right. And that's a big principle in all types of goals that you have. If you focus on the passion that's behind the product, or the passion that's behind why you're doing things, you're going to make a whole lot of money. And that's pretty much what I want to leave the audience with today.
Well, I couldn't think of a better message to leave the audience with. You are truly a wonderful person, Bruno, and I can't thank you enough for coming and sharing with me today. And, what a great way to spend the afternoon. Thank you, my friend.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.